Hi, everybody. How are you doing? It's Simon Chapple here, the Quit Alcohol Coach. As you probably know by now, I'm here to help you smash your sobriety. Today, I wanted to talk about self esteem. I speak to so many people who either want to quit drinking or they do successfully quit drinking, or they're on the journey to changing their life by cutting alcohol out of it. And the words self esteem come up time and time again. Now, that could be self esteem through body image, or it could just be not feeling a sense of appreciation and acknowledgement from loved ones around you. Or it could be that you're not doing the things in your life that bring you joy and light you up. But it's something that comes up time and time again. And the way I see it is that if we've got discomfort going on in our lives and we don't take steps to address it, that can really lead to some difficult feelings, thoughts coming up that kind of push us to a place where we think having a drink is a good idea. Those thoughts, they can overwhelm us. We start the morning feeling good, feeling fresh. I'm not going to have a drink today. Then we have a few uncomfortable thoughts. Maybe they're self esteem based. Then they build over the day. And by the time you get to 5, 6 o'clock, maybe it's time to cook dinner. That's when you think, I'm going to have a drink. It's become overwhelming. It's going to take the edge off. Well, maybe it does take the edge off for a few minutes, maybe for an hour or so. It hits the pause button. But when you wake up the next morning or when the alcohol's worn off, it's all still there. If anything, it comes back stronger. So you're not dealing with an issue by drinking. You're simply running away from it, hiding from it. And as I talked about in my last video, the only way to deal with fears and anxieties and things like issues around self-esteem is courage. Face up to it. That's so important. Just before I get onto some tips around self-esteem, because it is something that just comes up time and time and time again. So I felt I had to address it. But just before I do, I mentioned drinking while you're cooking. Something else that comes up so often. Lots of people seem to have that period between 4 to 7 p.m. where they cook the dinner and habitually they take a drink. They've done it for years. It's what they always do. A couple of really simple tips with that. You could cook your dinner earlier in the day. We're all on lockdown right now, so you're probably at home. What's to stop you cooking your dinner earlier in the day and warming it up in the evening? You could get somebody else to cook the dinner, save you a job, and you're not going to be tempted to drink because you're not there. You're not stood at the stove. You're not chopping the vegetables and the things to go in the food. Or you could just order a pizza, order a takeaway. Don't do that every night. I don't want you all piling on pounds and pounds of weight. But again, it's another way that's going to stop you drinking. So try and think about how you can put obstacles in your own way to manage yourself and make yourself safe so that you don't drink. You've got to take those steps in order to protect yourself from the moments where you feel you might be triggered or you might have a drink through habit. And it is a habit. We're breaking a ritual that we've given ourselves over years and years and years. So self-esteem. Sure, I had issues with my own self-esteem. Alcohol definitely wasn't helping. It's a depressant at the end of the day. And the more I drank, over the time it chipped away and the more and more down I became. And self-esteem was definitely an issue for me. So one thing that I found really, really useful was learning a new skill. Now, quitting drinking's like learning a new skill, but I don't really mean that. Do that anyway, obviously. But take up a new skill, find your passion, find what really lights you up and brings you joy. It could be painting, it could be writing, it could be walking in nature. Make sure it's something that you get so excited about, the kind of thing that when you're doing it, you forget what time it is. You forget how long you've been doing it for. Make sure you're putting that into your life. You owe it to yourself. It's called loving kindness. And we extend it to so many other people in our lives, but we often forget to give it to ourselves. That's really, really important. The next thing to boost self-esteem is you've got to get clear on your values as a person. I talk about this a lot, but Tony Robbins, the life coach, talks about how we have a blueprint for our life. So let's think about when they design a house. They draw a blueprint, right? That's the plan of the house. Subconsciously, I believe that we all have one of those blueprints, and our blueprint is the way we expect things to be. So think about that for a minute, the way you expect things to be. And that blueprint covers every area of our lives, from our career, our relationships, it could be health and fitness, every little detail of our lives, our blueprint covers it. Now, here's the thing, when things don't match up with your blueprint, it causes discomfort. An example, I used to tell myself I had to go to the gym 3 times a week. If I didn't go to the gym 3 times a week, I would be beating myself up. I'd be calling myself a failure, telling myself I was getting fat. Yeah, felt self-esteem, body image. Now, that was all because of my blueprint. My blueprint, my expectation had told me, Simon, you got to go to the gym 3 times a week. I wasn't doing it. It became uncomfortable in my mind. I had two choices in that situation. Either I change my blueprint to say, okay, well, if I can't go 3 times a week, twice a week's okay. I can live with that. Or I get my butt up the gym at least 3 times a week and I match my own expectations. So that's so true. And it's so true in every aspect of your life. It could just be that your partner comes home and they usually give you a hug and a kiss on the cheek. And that's your expectation. That's your blueprint. Yet one day they don't do it. And you feel some discomfort from that because it's not matching your blueprint. Now, it all starts with your values. If you want to get clear on your blueprint, you've got to get clear on your values. This is all going to boost your self-esteem. Believe me. Get clear on your values. There's lots of lists online of the common values. And I'd urge you to go and find a list of the most common values. Most of these lists have anything from 60 to 100 different things like honesty, appreciation, laughter, those kind of things. The things that you really love, and some that you probably won't as well. Get that list and pick out about 20 or so, because there's a lot, you'll find there's a lot that will apply to you. Once you've got your 20, trim it down to about 10. And once you've got that, try and make a top 5 or 6. They're your core values. Once you've got those core values, you can then look at your life and write next to each value, where am I getting this from? Where is that being fulfilled? And discover. You might actually find that some of them aren't being fulfilled, and worse, they're actually being opposed. Like, I used to work in a job that involved pressure selling and kind of sometimes bending the truth a little bit to get the deal. Yet one of my top values is honesty and trust. So that didn't fit well. No wonder I felt so much discomfort while I was working in that job, which I ended up walking away from because I just didn't enjoy doing it. I didn't realize that that was the reason at the time, but it was all to do with my values and it wasn't matching my blueprint. Sure, the money was good, but money's not everything. Success without fulfillment is failure. That's another quote by Tony Robbins, the life coach. And it's so, so true. We've got to be fulfilled. We have to fulfill our values. And that's critical. So spending some time looking at your values, looking at what brings you joy, what lights you up in your life, and then seeing how that fits with your blueprint and making sure that you've got a blueprint that where it's all being met, your expectations are being met, and you'll suddenly find that you're smiling a whole lot more if you do that. The next step to boosting self-esteem is to challenge any limiting beliefs that you've got. Now, I talk about limiting beliefs so much when it comes to quitting drinking. For example, I used to believe that I couldn't have fun unless I drank alcohol. I believed that alcohol eased my anxiety. Both of those are complete BS. They're just not true, but I firmly believed them. They were concrete, true beliefs to me at the time. I took the time to look at my beliefs, not just about alcohol, but all the things that I believe that might be limiting me and holding me back. And I formed new, healthy beliefs that allowed me to become the best version of myself, or so I like to think. So look at your beliefs and unravel them, bring them out into the light and ask yourself one simple question. Is this belief holding me back from being the best version of myself? If it is, spend some time looking at the belief closely and forming some new ones. There's other videos on my YouTube channel. Do subscribe to the channel if you don't already. There's videos every week, 2 a week I do. And you can find videos on here that will help you work on changing your beliefs and identifying those beliefs that might be limiting you as a person. The next thing for boosting your self esteem is to get outside your comfort zone. As I said, I talked about fears and anxieties recently and how we need a bit of courage to destroy fear and anxiety. Stepping outside your comfort zone requires a little bit of courage. When I quit drinking, I joined a new boot camp to get as fit as I possibly could. There was a bunch of new people there. I felt a little bit nervous the first time I went. I was kind of sheepish. I didn't have the protection of alcohol. This was a new thing to me. I had to step outside my comfort zone. So sometimes when you find those things you want to do that you know will bring you joy, you know are going to light you up, they're in line with your values, they match your blueprint, you got to step outside your comfort zone to go out there and get it. And that's so, so important. And you will feel so good about yourself when you do that. If your self esteem relates to body image or something like that, sure, you can take steps around that too. Looking at your diet, how often you're exercising, and of course, your drinking as well. The number of empty calories in alcohol. I was carrying about a stone or more. I don't know what that is in American weight, by the way, pounds, but I was carrying a stone or more of excess weight. And after I quit, yes, I was training more. Yes, I was eating healthily, but I wasn't drinking and the weight fell off me. There's another video on my channel here called Alcohol and Weight Loss where I share some before and after pictures. So if you want to laugh, don't watch it while you're eating. If you want to laugh, check that video out. Another awesome way of boosting your self-esteem, help someone. It could be a random act of kindness, or it could be helping somebody that you already know. It could just be extending kindness throughout the course of the day. Instead of being angry when you're driving your car, let people pass in front of you. Consciously drive a bit slower. Maybe in the store, you let somebody go in front of you in the queue, or you pick something up when somebody's dropped it. Whatever you can do to be nice to people, sounds so simple, be nice. You'll find that radiating that positive energy and helping others and just being nice to people is going to bring you back so much love and positive energy that you're going to feel that, and it boosts your self-esteem. Trust me, try it. Try it for 48 hours of being nice to everybody you can and make a conscious effort. You'll feel the love coming back. You believe me and trust me on that one. A lot of self-esteem issues can come from things way back in the past. So if that's the case for you, do something to heal it. Now, that might be getting some counseling, working one-to-one with somebody, joining an online program, depending on what the situation is and the issue from the past. But don't let it just lie there, bubbling up, causing you problems because it's never been fully resolved. Heal the past. Again, it takes a bit of courage to open up and share about it, but it's going to serve you. If you broke your leg, you wouldn't just let it heal on its own. You'd go and seek some professional help, wouldn't you? It's exactly the same. So if something's not quite right, there's something there still causing you pain from way back when in the past, you can heal that. Let it heal properly and let it heal fully, and it will do so much good for your self-esteem. Okay, just a couple more. Read something inspirational. There's so many wonderful books out there that you can pick up that will really help you either grow as an individual, discover something about yourself, or just feel good about the life you've got through practicing gratitude, writing down things that you really are appreciative for. So check out some of the inspirational books. They don't have to be sober books, although there's a video about those on my channel here. Whatever works for you, whatever your passions are, and whatever feels like a good fit. But reading things and digesting inspirational information, videos, podcasts, sets you up successfully. If you surround yourself with negativity, you're going to probably find that that's how you end up. It's contagious, it's breeding, but so is positivity, so is motivation. So surround yourself with the right things. And that starts with reading books, reading blogs, websites, and definitely podcasts and videos like this one, right? And my last tip for boosting self-esteem is stop worrying about what other people think. We all do it. But really, everybody thinks about other people. We've all got opinions about other people, and we subconsciously or consciously judge other people. And none of us really want to do that. And but it's a trait that exists in all humans. We're observational creatures. We critique people. Stop worrying about what people think. It doesn't mean they necessarily think bad of you. And if somebody's being really nasty and actually making insults or something like that, then they're probably not a friend, or they're probably not someone you want to be around anyway. Are they true? Are they really loyal to you? So why would you be associating yourself with them? There's loads of different ways of coming at this, and you can find lots of videos about it and information, and I could do a whole separate video on it. But the long and short is, stop worrying what other people think about you, because actually, although most people might glance and they might form a quick opinion in their head, they don't actually care. That's the long and short of it. We all do it. We see somebody in the store, maybe they're wearing a brightly coloured item of clothing, and I wear a lot of brightly coloured items of clothing, as you probably know, and they might just go, oh, wow, look at him in his brightly coloured top. So what? Doesn't mean they think bad of you. So, unless you've committed some horrific crime, then sure, others are going to probably think very bad of you. Most people just give it a fleeting thought, and that's the end of it. Whether you're big, small, got no hair, I have to go through the day of no hair, but I own it. I don't care about that. And if somebody came up and called me a shiny, bald-headed guy, so be it. It doesn't bother me. They're the ones with the problem. So stop worrying about what other people think. Is so, so important. So hopefully those tips gave you some ideas around how you can start to work on your self-esteem, but also become mindful about whether it's issues relating to self-esteem that are causing you to drink. And if they are, definitely put some work into this. So many other videos on my channel that are going to help you get to that place where you want to be, practical tips and tactics. Make sure you subscribe, become part of my community, and I'll see you all next time for the next video. I'm not going to tell you what it's about right now. It's going to be a surprise, but I'll see you all very soon. There's new videos every Tuesday and every Thursday.